So hello again, my name is Luc Comeau. Let's start first with another showcase of one of our customer, Canadian, the Maple Leafs, just to give you a quick highlight.
MLSE is a world-class sports and entertainment organization. We are the proud owners of the Toronto Maple Leafs, the Toronto Raptors, the Toronto FC, and the Toronto Argonauts. As the owner of a sports team, we have access to a great amount of content that is often not seen by the broadcaster or by our fans. By having a central solution, this allows us to aggregate all of our content in one place to ensure that we are delivering the best of that content to our fans and that we're not ever missing one of those great moments.
We have over 50,000 assets in our permanent archive, but over the life cycle of our time with Dalet, we've had upwards of a couple 100,000 assets move through the system. We have over 7,000 games from hockey, basketball, soccer, and football, dating back to the 1950s in the case of the Toronto Maple Leafs. We use Dalet Sports Logger to log sports live as they're happening, or afterwards if we choose.
By having a Dalet archive, you're able to go back and find a relevant moment that might speak to a fan or a partner and really help us to deepen that level of engagement.
So after having Dalet for a little while, we decided that we wanted to start to branch out and move from just having an archive system to having more of a production management system. We wanted our edit suites to be able to access Dalet directly. We changed our edit suites to Adobe Premiere and have added Dalet Extend to our system that allows our editors to find the footage themselves and drop it right onto their timelines, as opposed to producers or associate producers having to do all of that work for them.
The Dalet system supported us in an amalgamation of our marketing and our broadcast departments. By doing the Dalet Galaxy implementation, we were able to start actually knitting those two groups together into a unified team that truly collaborate on their projects.
So I work for the Raptors game presentation team here at Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment. Our team uses Dalet in many different ways, put on our show in arena. So we can have our coordinators in one part of the building kind of looking for footage of one thing. Our editor can do another, and then I can see what's being pulled all together. Game day, it's like all hands on deck using Dalet.
Having all our content in one system makes it much easier to collaborate between departments, to share content, and to bring the content to our fans faster than we ever could before. During Toronto Maple Leaf games and Toronto Raptor games here at Scotiabank Arena, we have an operator that uses Dalet Galaxy on-air playout to bring content right from our system onto the arena scoreboard.
So as content production has evolved and included things like social media and websites a lot more than just traditional television, Dalet has allowed us to operate much quicker on a game night, publish something to our social media platform right away. Dalet has enabled us to reach our fans at a deeper level in arena, on our television screens, and on social media.
Great. So again, welcome everybody. I'll continue along the lines of my colleagues to re-emphasize some of the themes that they highlighted in the context of asset management and, of course, supply chain. So along with the exploding content consumption, as well as the avenues for the audience to consume it, means that we need to quickly respond to these new realities and adapt quickly. For this, we need a solution that enables faster content production cycles, combined with a team that is no longer bound to headquarters, like mobile and global. With a create once, publish many paradigm, you need a robust content factory to optimize and accelerate your time to audience. This is why the following three pillars will form this basis for ensuring that you have timely engagement. Starting with content inventory. And when we say inventory, we mean inventory as in ripe for consumption. Being flexible in the modeling of your business as opposed to adapting your model to a platform, with key principles as format and infrastructure agnosticity, combined with an inventory that's completely scalable to millions of assets, as well as offerings that empower your global team, is key. to this success. So our content factory addresses all the stages of your supply chain, with a rich set of core services and an openness to interface with the rest of your ecosystem, while also providing an extensible suite of web-based tools that will support your creatives and your technical team throughout this content journey. The content factory also needs to flow through both genealogy and data to maintain visibility and traceability throughout the versioning process. For example, ensuring as I'm creating new derivatives that closed captions flow through my versions, that rights information will also flow through, and managing across all these derivatives through our content factory. The second pillar is choreography or orchestration. Orchestrating is more than just starting processes or job. The train analogy highlights quite easily this challenge. All trains must leave on time at different times, but on time. There's not enough tracks for all the trains at any given time. And all the trains need to arrive on time. This is very similar to supply chain orchestration with your products that need to be delivered to platform within SLAs, et cetera, et cetera. Dalet's orchestration combines this rich data into its execution of the processes. The BPM engine allows you to both design and execute your processes and monitor this as they're flowing through. And this monitoring, along with the content journey, allows you to implement new capabilities for predictability to forecast timely its execution through new services. Of course, all this choreography requires an underlying media processing pipeline that can deliver at scale. Cloud elasticity combined with format and standards support, as well as injecting cognitives for enrichment and forecasting, is key. User assignments go beyond simple to-dos in our BPM engine, beyond uncorrelated jobs and content at hand. We transport and present contextually the assigned content, the instructions, and the tools handed to the user to execute their job. As well, we're introducing new solutions that enable a wider and external team of contributors to collaborate within the ecosystem. Nat Geo, a long-time customer of ours, has implemented these principles, along with migrating to our newest platform to capitalize on these new offerings I just mentioned as part of our early adopter program. While multi-platform distribution at its core is what Dalet does and does very well, the challenge lies in the multiplication of content, often similar. This is where we're getting into our third pillar. Implementing a component-based approach can further streamline and optimize your workflows with versioning and localization. The challenge in localization is this multiplication of derivatives. While these derivatives are usually and predominantly common essences shared from your program master. So as you can see here from a simplistic representation of my program master to its derivatives, the bulk of the content remains the same minus the slight additions or edits that relate to localization specificities. Here with a component-based approach, we keep the compositions abstracted and manage the relationship of these to manage a smaller payload up until the last mile where we need to deliver to those consumption platforms. The concept of component-based is not just limited to IMF standards. We already have the data model to componentize elements within the content factory and reassemble those into standards such as IMF, but as well as other standards. The Dalet toolsets enable you to visually compose these derivatives while uniquely managing every media item in its composition. This means that the genealogy of your content is clear, simplifying content tracking, rights management, and quality control. Great examples of customers adopting these three pillars are respectively TransPerfect and VDM, where they capitalize on Dalet's rich backend and orchestration and develop purpose-built tools for their partners and customers. But component base is not just limited to labs use. Linear outlets need to sustain and go global, and it's ready with Dalet. Organized content enables automation, expedites time to market, and allows the monetization in new ways across platforms. So in summary, these three foundational pillars form the basis for agility to meet these new realities. As well, we've seen a shift from traditional MAM or media asset management deployments on-prem to a more and more, we're seeing this adoption of both pure cloud plays in deployments and more importantly, in hybrid cloud models. And on that note, I'd love to invite Ian McPherson of Amazon to expand on this topic, and I thank you very much.